How's it going, YouTube? It is Piffnish once again, and mid-season in Marvel Rivals is here. We now have both the Thing and the Human Torch. Today, we will be talking about the Thing. I would like to go over his kit a bit, why he's so broken. Maybe a strong word, but I'm really loving his kit. Also, we'll have some footage in the background. You'll see some success, you'll see some failure there. I'm not perfect, but I do enjoy the Thing a lot, and I'm going to talk about why. So, let's get right into team-ups. Firstly, we'll start with the Fantastic Four team-up, Cooperative Comrades. That is a team-up where Sue Storm is the anchor, and the rest of the Fantastic Four can benefit from this. They'll be able to generate bonus health over 5 seconds by hitting whatever keybind it is that you have connected to it. And it's a good way to kind of stay in the fight or gives you time to get out of the fight. There's been a few times where it's been a make or break moment for me in the match, where they were about to have me. I was able to hit that Cooperative Comrades, generate some bonus health while either getting out of there or finishing off whoever I was attacking at the time. I think it's great for him, really great for all the Fantastic Four. I'd like to talk about the rest of the characters later on, but I'll get in that later. So his second one is Cosmic Fastball. That is Cannonball Special for anyone who knows about it. That is between him and Wolverine and Hulk. Now, I've said before in other videos, I love this team up. I know it's not the most meta, I don't see it a lot, but I love throwing Wolverine around, especially when it connects. And that is it for the team ups for the Thing. Now, moving on, we do have his Thing specific abilities. Now, we will start with his primary fire. It's called Rocky Jab. There's not much to talk about it. It is just a 2-strike bop bop. I do like to pepper it in there with the other abilities to kind of combine it all, but I don't see anything too special about it. Maybe there's some animation cancels I haven't caught yet that'll kind of make it move, be a little more pertinent. But as of right now, that's just his primary fire. And now I'd really like to talk about one of my favorite abilities, which is Yancey Street Charge. I think this is one of the big things that make the Thing a stronger Vanguard. You charge in from very long range. You slam your fist down. You create an area of effect where people can't use their movement techniques within that area of effect. And you pop them up in the air. Now, why is this so strong? Firstly, the range of it. You get to slam all the way through their front line, all the way to their back line, and wreak havoc. And once you slam down in their back line, you have those raccoons that are going to try to get to dash away. It's not happening. They can't use their ability. You have your Psylocke. She can't dash away. So it's really a jarring ability that's going to create chaos in their back lines, which will let your other DPS and your healers kind of move forward. You've created space. The tanks are cut off. So there's been multiple instances where I think that this ability here has made or break a engagement that we've had in our match. Next, very strong ability, we have Stone Haymaker. That is a charged punch. You move forward 3 meters while punching. You get bonus health while doing it. And it's got a range, 8-meter range. So I would say I use this more than its primary, a lot more. In fact, there's been times where me and the enemy team's Thing have just been doing this to each other while our healers just heal us and look at us like we're crazy. And this just feels good to hit with. I don't know if it's the hitbox that does it, but I feel like I don't miss much with it. Even if they're trying to dance around me, it's got a very large hitbox. And it's a very strong punch. I feel like this in combination with Yancey Street Charge or the ultimate, which we'll get into, and you pop them up with the Yancey Street Charge as they're in the air. You're charging this up, and you hit them as they're coming down. That's depending on what their health was at, that's dropping a lot of DPS and healers in a short combo. And you're the tank. This is, in my opinion, on par with Magneto's uh, primary fire, alternate primary. It just drops your health bar immediately. Next, we have Embattled Leap, and this is his big damage reduction skill. You launch yourself at a teammate, and you apply a 30% damage reduction to both yourself and the ally, and that lasts for 3 seconds. Now, the big thing about this as well is there's 2 charges. You can only use them 10 seconds apart, but there's only a basic cooldown of 3 seconds. You can use this ability a lot, and there are, in my opinion, once again, 2 ways to use this ability. There is the intended method, which is you're moving with your fellow tank. Hopefully you have a fellow tank, and you're keeping your both of yourselves damage reduced. Or if someone's dropping it on your back line, you can turn around and launch yourself at your ally healer or DPS and kind of save them from some of that damage and get yourself in the fight there. For example, if there's a Spider-Man dropping in on your Invisible Woman, you can turn around, hit that damage reduction so he doesn't get his one-shot combo off, and now he's got a thing in his face. The thing in his face. Phrasing. Now, I wouldn't say this is the unintended method, but what I've been using it a lot for is when I'm getting in there almost in a drop tank style of dashing through their front line, hitting him with Yancey Street Charge in the back line. If I get overwhelmed, I'll turn around and target one of my allies and just launch myself back before I die. I think it's a wonderful get out of jail free card. I think the description understates how much this contributes to your survivability and the survivability of your team. So, 10 out of 10 so far. I love every part of his kit. Last but not least, we have his ultimate, Clobbering Time. It stuns for 2.5 seconds, deals 100 damage in a large area in front of you. I think that this ultimate outclasses most other Vanguard's ultimates. I wouldn't say Magneto's because his is situational, he can drop the healers when they're in their ult. But Strange, I think it outclasses Strange. Obviously Strange has other benefits to his ultimate that you don't have, specifically area of effect, and I'd have to look at the charge time. Outclasses his, outclasses Hulk's, outclasses Venom's, I think. That 2.5 second stun on everybody, that's whether or not you get the point there. That changes the whole setup. A Venom ult can be annoying, but I've never seen it be match swing. It might get the Venom in there a little bit longer. However, this ultimate here, plus you're doing that damage as well, so you're not just stunning them for the team to have to kind of sweep up. So it's hard for me not to speak highly of this ultimate when I think it outclasses so many other ultimates in the Vanguard tree. So that's Clobbering Time. In fact, you will see me here waste it. I wasted that ultimate terribly. But it feels like it charges very quick for me as well. So that's Clobbering Time. Now we're going to move into the passive skill that everyone was very excited about. His passive is called Unyielding Will. Basically, you can't be launched up, knocked back, or moved any other way. That's it. You can't be moved. And I know that sounds simplistic, but how many videos or times in your matches have you seen Spider-Man pull someone off the map? Or Sue Storm push someone off the map? Or so on. Jeff spit people off the map. Now, you can still be swallowed by Jeff, but he just spits you out right in front of him. He can't launch you out into space. So the only way he can kill you with his ultimate is if he falls off with you, or gets on the very, very tippy tip of the edge.
So that is huge. That is the quintessential tank Vanguard passive to me. That feels correct. Now, have I noticed it a bunch in my matches? Yeah. More so than not noticed it because I can't tell if a Sue Storm was trying to push me or not. I'm not moving anywhere. But once again, it feels very, very on theme, and another reason why I think the thing is broken. And I think one of the best Vanguards, if not the best Vanguard now. Now I know not every Vanguard holds the same exact role. They're all played very differently. I think the thing is very versatile. I think that he has different playstyles that he could cover depending on team comp needs. For example, I feel like the Hulk is just as versatile. Uh, he's got the movement to be sort of a drop tank. However, I think that the thing is better in multiple ways. Um, when it comes to, for example, his movement tech that has his slam at the end that makes it to where the enemy can't move. I think that's a great um, drop ability. I think that's a great ability to hit the backline with, which I've stated excessively before. However, he has that same frontline survivability that is going to hold points and keep the enemy from pushing vehicles. I know he doesn't have the same movement as Captain America, but I do think that he's a little more survivable in the drop status. And I think that where he lacks a shield, especially Cap's shield, which reflects damage, he just I think he hits harder and more consistently. So he could hold that back line just as well, in my opinion. Doctor Strange, who is more of a frontline tank, once again, he lacks a shield, but I think that he has enough power up front and the ability to soak up enough damage with all the bonus health you get that almost, I would say, rivals the shield. Groot, even though his health is a little ridiculous comparatively, I think that he compares to him frontline as well. He doesn't have the shield walls, but he uses himself as a wall in front of the enemy, or most of the time where I'm in between the enemy tanks and healers, that he could still create that gap between the enemy lines to make that difficult for their tanks in the front to get those heals. And I think a good Groot always is able to keep walls between the healers and the tanks. Magneto, he just received an nerf on his shield. He's doing more damage now. I think Magneto has a better damage output, especially with him being ranged. Him, Strange, and so on. Him being ranged kind of gives him an edge on the damage end. But front lines, I think that thing has just as much damage capability up in people's face compared to Penny. Penny is great, in my opinion, as an ambush vanguard, dropping her spider nest. She's got range, she's got health, she's got bonus health, she's great there. But once again, even though the thing doesn't have the range, I think he has the damage output and the survivability to rival her on the front line. Thor, I see the Thor and Thing is very similar, playstyle wise, because I think a good Thor can hold both fronts. He has the consistent bonus health output, and I think a good Thor is able to balance all of his skills to where he is pretty survivable, even if there's a healer. The healers aren't quite getting to him yet. So I think that him and Thor have very similar playstyles, and that they're both amazing in both roles. And Venom, as far as I think a good Venom in the back lines is devastating and more maneuverable. But on the front lines, I think that a Thing is more capable. So he definitely isn't lacking compared to any other tank in the game. I am very impressed with how he can stack up on multiple fronts. He's very versatile. Now, on to some of the matches I've played with the thing. I think it is very much a common experience where no matter how good you are with certain characters or how well you're playing, there's a lot more into the match itself that determines on how that match goes. I've been very lucky with the thing gameplay with how well my healers have been doing their job. And I think that's what really makes a or breaks a good Vanguard experience. You could be an amazing root, you could be an amazing penny, but if your healers aren't doing their job, the other team's just going to wipe you. And you see it a lot where one piece of the puzzle isn't fitting and the whole thing falls apart. And I'm not saying I'm perfect. I've been the weakest link. It's been a lot less so since I've been playing for some time now, but there's been times where I'm like, man, I'm the one who threw. But to rein back my rant, I've been lucky so far playing the thing where my healers have been pretty top tier. I've had a match or two where I could tell a difference, where I would, do my Yancey Street charge in, slam down, and I'm, getting hit. I get out, and my health is sitting at what it was when I got out. And for a couple seconds, where are my healers at? And they're alive. They're right there. They just, are newer healers or not, watching, paying attention. They're having a bad match or something. But it happens. And to elaborate further, something I've noticed a lot lately is some person throwing the match, either choosing that third DPS when we need a healer or a Vanguard, and they get in there and they're just bombing. They are not hitting their shots, and they will jump on there and blame the healer or blame anyone but themselves. And sometimes, people are upset that the healer isn't actually healing or someone's not doing their job. But a lot of times it's just someone's like, oh man, I'm doing bad, I gotta find someone to blame. So if you're in one of those matches, take some accountability on yourself and see, what can I do to improve. But don't take to heart when someone who's clearly irritated starts jumping on you, because they don't feel bad that you're the scapegoat. Continue to improve. You may or may not be the problem. Depends on the situation. But don't feel bad, because really they're just trying to find someone else to blame. They're going to go to the next match and forget you even exist. But a lot lately it's been the thrower, the one throwing blame as well. Doing a bunch of throwing. So that rant is over. We're coming up to the end of the video here. I hope you enjoyed my rants and my critique of the thing. I want to hear your opinions on the thing, how your matches have gone, what you think about his kit, what you think about all the changes in general when it comes to everything Season 1.5. Did your character get nerfed? Did your character get buffed? How are you feeling about it? Please like, comment, and subscribe. And please subscribe. Once again, I really want to start streaming. I really want to build a community that's unique, not just the same meta opinions you hear every single video of all these big streamers and big YouTubers that have been doing this for some time. Which leads me to a question. I'm familiar with Twitch, vaguely. I've watched a few Twitch streams before in the past. I could probably start there. Do any of you watch streamers on Twitch? What streamers do you like? And would you suggest starting there? Because I know a lot of streamers talk about them doing both and that they think that's the best. I don't know how easy it is to keep up with, all the comments and both communities, but it's something I'm going to start looking into as well. If you have been streaming on Twitch in the past, any advice would be great. Any advice on the YouTube end would be great. Once again, I don't have all the equipment and stuff that I'd like to have yet, but this is something I really want to do. And to any of you who also want to do this, I would suggest to just start. Even if you have to do it from your phone, just go ahead and jump in. Anywho, that's been my video. Thank you so much for watching, listening, liking, subscribing, commenting. Thanks for being here. Y'all have a great time. I appreciate y'all.